Hi, I am so glad to see you today. We're going to continue talking today about the creation story. Now, you already know that God had created light. He separated the sky from the water. He created plants and flowers and trees, and He made land, and then He made the sun, the moon, the stars, and then He also created the birds and all the things that live in the waters. The oceans, the lakes, the ponds, the creeks. And so today we're going to talk about what God did on day 6. Now, God already knew everything that He had made was good, but He still had more work to do. But before I tell you about that, I want to tell you what our Bible verse is for today. It is Genesis 1:26. And God said, "Let us make man in our own image." Genesis 1:26. Let's say it together. I'll do a little bit and you say it after me. God said, "Let us make man in our own image." Genesis 1:26. Let's say it together. God said, "Let us make man in our own image." Genesis 1:26. Good job. What I want to do right now is I want you to see how I make these scenes, because I think it's important that you help me and see how we transform our board. And so for our first part of our story, we're going to put this piece up. So we're covering over what looks like the ocean. And then we're going to put a piece up right over here. Right here. You see how our picture's starting to change? Look at that, just so simply. And then I've got this piece right here to go above that. And let me move that up just a little bit and that over a little bit just to give a good coverage. Right there. And this is a tree that we're going to add today that we haven't used before. I'm going to put it right over here. And then we're going to use this tree we've used before, so we can reuse it for our story today. And I'm going to pull this over just a little bit more there. And put our tree. Because remember, God had made the trees, the plants, the land, the sun, the moon, the stars. He had created the birds. Remember we talked last time about the birds? Here's our little bluebird. We'll put in our tree. Our cardinal we'll put in the tree. And we've got this bird, and I don't think he was here last time. So we'll put him in the sky. He's flying, as are these two. And they are together, the birds, these two are together. So we know that there were the birds, and we know that God also, the same day He made the birds, He created all the things that we know in the water. We talked about that last time, and we talked about fish. And so for today, we'll add these fish right here. And He certainly made all different kinds of life to live in the water. Here's another fish. Put that here. And then I thought this would be a fun addition today. We have a duck. that can be swimming, and she's got her little ducklings with her little babies. And so she's there in the water with her babies. So God already had created many beautiful things, but he still knew he had more work to do. So on that 6th day, God created all the other animals. So these are animals that like you see on a farm, like cows, pigs, horses, dogs, cats, all kinds of farm animals. Sheep, I heard somebody say sheep, yes. He created all the animals that live in the jungle, like monkeys. What else? Lions and tigers. He created bears. He created lots of animals. So let's put a few of those out, just so we can know that God was very creative. What is that? Yes, that's an elephant. So we'll put our elephant right over here. And then this is one of my favorite animals. What is that? It's kind of hard. I have to hold its neck up. That is a giraffe. Exactly. So we'll put our giraffe over here. And then also, I had heard someone say lion, and we'll put them out here. But God made lots of animals. I just don't have room on my board for all of those animals. So there we have our lions. And God looked at all of this he had made. He says, this is good. But he knew that something was missing. And so he decided that he would make a person. Now, I do believe God already knew he was doing that, and I've said that to you, that he was thinking of you and me when he was creating all of this. But the time was right for him to make a man. And the Bible said that he made man in his own image. Now, the animals that he had made were amazing and fun and creative, but they didn't really talk to God the way that he wanted. And so he created us in his image to have fellowship with him and to be able to communicate and talk to him. We can do that out loud. We can do it through prayer. We can learn about him through his word. So I want us to talk now about also on that 6th day, he created man. So I'm going to change our board a little bit. I want you to watch because I think I'll leave those up. Take these off and let's get our fish and duck and off, and let's see what we can add. Might have to just add another scene here. Let's see, let's take our tree off for just a minute. Take this down. We'll move that up there for right now just so I won't forget about it. And now we'll add this scene. So now we're going to be talking about God making man in his own image. Now when, hang on just a second, let me get that fixed. Raise that up a little bit. And if you were here, I would let you help me. Because sometimes I need another set of hands. So we'll put our trees back over here. And let's put, what is that? A swan, 2 swans. Let's put them swimming over here in the water. And let's put our big tree here, just like we've had that. And let's put our cardinal and our bluebird back. And so God had already made the animals, and he just knew something was missing. Put our elephants back. Let's add a tiger to this scene. We'll put the tiger over here under the tree. And we remember that he made the flowers, so we'll add some of those right down here. And so God made all these beautiful things, and he created this beautiful garden, but he knew something was missing. And so the Bible tells us that God created man from the dust of the earth. And so this is who we have to represent the first man. We don't know what he looked like, but for our story, this is what we use. So you can use your imagination too. So there's our first man. And the Bible says that his name is what? Adam, right. And God gave Adam an amazing job, because it's important that you and I have responsibilities. And he gave Adam the job of taking care of the garden where he lived. And he also gave him the job of naming the animals and taking care of the animals. So I want you to know that taking care of land and taking care of animals, those were the first jobs that God ever gave Adam. And I think that those jobs are very important in our world. So I want you to remember that. And even though Adam would name the animals, and the animals might come up to him and he might say, these are lions, or he might even say, this is a bear, and we'll call her baby a cub. Let me show you those. That still wasn't enough for Adam, because he needed a helper. He had a big responsibility. And you know what God did? The Bible says that God put Adam to sleep, and he took one of Adam's ribs. And if you feel on your body on either side, you can feel some bones. And those bones protect your lungs, your heart, a lot of your organs inside. Your ribs are protection. And God took one of Adam's ribs and he created the first woman. And this is just an idea of what she may have looked like, but we don't know. So we're using our imaginations. And so God created Eve. And the Bible says that when Adam saw her, he loved what he saw. And she became his helper. And the two of them could talk together, and they could enjoy God's beautiful creation together. And after God made Adam, not only did he think it was good, the Bible says God said that it's very good. That tells me that people, boys and girls and men and women, are very special to God. God made man in his own image. We have the ability to communicate with God. And I want you to remember that. And I'm excited about telling you tomorrow what happened on day 7 of creation. Day 6 were all the animals besides the birds and the things that lived in the water. And then the highlight of God's creation was when he made people. I'm excited that you're here with me, and we'll continue on this next time. You take care, and I'll see you then.